First one. So everyone here would love to have that button you could press and we change everyone and we change everything and we do it all at once, right? And everyone, we'd love that button, right? That's great. So let's call that delusion. So that's never gonna happen. We all know that the reality is we have to deal with what we control and what we influence. And that's kind of one of the insights of this community is we work out where we are and we go from there, rather than trying to deal with the fantasy of that magic button. Now, what I'm claiming with this presentation is how do I get from where I currently control and what I currently influence to expand to a much larger footprint, and I'm calling what we need to do to accomplish that is trust. I want to point out that where you start doesn't necessarily mean a bottom-up approach. It could be at any point within the organization that you have trust and influence, and that varies. I found, at least in my own career, that where I started changed. I like this quote from John Shook, and he talks about this belief that because I talk to the CEO that I don't have to deal with this, and you do. Even if the CEO is the most influential person, they tend not to be as powerful as about 1,000 middle managers. Okay, so if we think I need to look at trust to expand my influence, what is the nature of trust? And I will put, there are 3 factors that I see. One is intent, respect. Second is respect, and the third one is competence. So let's look at those in more detail. Intent talks about what goal is in our heads. So if I believe that we're trying to accomplish the same thing, we will influence each other because we're both contributing toward the same goal. And if I have that, I have more influence. If I don't have that, then I have to find it, and I possibly may even have to create that common intent so that we go, okay, let's maybe escalate up, work out where we are trying to achieve the same thing, and then, okay, now we can start having a dialogue and influence each other. The second thing is about respect. So if I, in this, my little picture here, if I just don't like green and there's a green person there and I just don't like blue and there's a blue person there, there's a problem because we fundamentally don't respect each other. It's more about the person. To get out of that, this is kind of an attribution error thing. So I need to look at other factors when I talk about situations. I'm going around like this humanity aspect. I'm looking at situations, social stuff. I'm trying to say, hey, we have common humanity and I maintain respect. The last thing is about competence. So we could have an agreement about what we're trying to achieve and I could respect you as a human, but I don't believe you can do it. In which case, you can't influence me, I won't change for you because I don't believe what you're talking about makes any sense. You're not going to be able to do it. When we want to build competence, this is the classic thing of incremental delivery. So I have to gradually show that I can deliver something for you. I can get an incremental movement toward that change. And you trust that I have the ability to do so when I ask for the much more complicated change, right? You believe that I'm competent. You have to have all 3 things. So I kind of had combinations of it. If I only have a part of it, I don't necessarily believe you can do the whole thing and I don't have influence. An example of this type of approach is shown in this, I don't know if people remember this, it's like the recipe for success thing in David's book. Each of these stages you can see are ways to build up trust over time, like which ones are easy to start with and which ones give you more capability to ask for the next thing. The next thing is always a much more complicated thing, requires more trust, and that's the kind of the insight of that type of approach. I think Stephen Covey came up with this idea of a trust account. So the idea that when I'm dealing with trust, I do things that deposit trust into a trust account, and when I ask for more things, I have to withdraw that trust in order to be able to ask for it effectively. I look at an improvement is like a trust investment. So I'm asking to withdraw trust from my trust account, and I'm promising a return on investment of that trust if I do this improvement because it will provide a capability that allows them to believe me more for the next thing. So I would say that any recipe for success of where we're trying to get people to adopt something, trying to influence them, has to follow that kind of concept of building up trust in this kind of investment cycle. If we don't, then we won't be able to withdraw enough to be able to do what we need to do. Okay, so just to summarize what I'm trying to talk about here is that we have to acknowledge the limits of our control and influence. We need to increase those limits, and we do that by increasing trust. Trust is about intent, respect, and competence. And we want to see improvements as a trust investment. So We put in trust, we take out trust, and what we introduce to people should be building up more trust so we can ask to do the next thing. That's all. Thank you.